The diversity of bird species that we see this time of year goes down, but the number of birds we see most certainly does not. There are many large flocks of birds around the sanctuary. It sounds as if this murder of crows is mobbing a predator. And judging by their tenacity, it is probably a very dangerous predator to them, such as a great horned owl. And this flock of crows seems to be in a feeding frenzy.
They usually do that when they find food. There they go. Like I remember watching a procession of crows, kind of commuting crows, going over the farm, and then there's one spot on Route 12 where I think there was some roadkill, and they started doing just that. They like started swirling above the spot, and like circling and circling, and some would descend and presumably start feeding. But, most of them also continued on down into Utica.
This area of the woods seems to be a favorite hangout for robins. We've been seeing them here every day, either bathing or foraging for food. Their waterproof and insulative feathers must do a fantastic job, because the cold does not seem to bother them. Right now, it is probably either in the mid-30s or lower 40s. Here, you can see them foraging for insects and worms. They probe through the mud and turn over leaves in their quest to find food. If you were to come by later and look, it is easy to see that the robins were here foraging by all of the upturned leaves. Their colors seem to camouflage them particularly well this time of the year. From a distance, they blend in perfectly with the leaf litter when they are not bouncing around.
Okay, ready? Oh, sorry.
Robins can also be seen foraging up in the trees for berries. These mountain ash berries seem not to get eaten as quickly as the other berries in the forest. Perhaps they're not as tasty as the other berries around, or perhaps they don't ripen completely until after a cold spell. It's hard to say. Cedar waxwings also indulged in this feast of mountain ash berries. Throughout the summer, cedar waxwings eat mostly insects. In the colder months, however, they do convert to eating fruits. These berries are a large meal for these waxwings, and it seems that for every one they actually swallow, they drop one to the ground also. This probably helps the tree to proliferate. Off the sanctuary, in the Northwoods, or more specifically the Fulton Mountain chains, beaver tracks can be seen. And if their footprints aren't a giveaway, the beaver chew should be an obvious sign. Beavers typically prefer food from the poplar family, such as willow and aspens, but when these aren't around, I guess they'll settle for beech. There are many insects that are still active during the winter months, such as sunflies. Sunflies are a family of about 740 species that live around the whole Arctic region. They are named for their tendency to dwell where the sun is shining. They are about the size of common houseflies, but more elongated, with balled-up antennas and spikes around the base of the wings, which don't really show in these pictures. Most winter insects survive by eating fungus or detritus, but there are enough of them that there are still predatory insects during the winter. I suspect that these insects are consuming the sap from this fresh buck rub. When we came back to this tree the following day, there were no insects left to be found. You can see in here at least 3 species of crane flies, including this big one with the striped abdomen and the one under it. So far, I've been having trouble accessing information about these winter insects. In the coming months, I hope to learn more about them. Muskrats are a semi-aquatic rodent native throughout much of North America and have been introduced and even invasive in many continents such as Europe, Asia, and South America. They have been an important source of food and fur for many cultures throughout history. In fact, the hats of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are made from muskrat fur. While many wetland species have suffered with the arrival of Europeans to America, muskrats have thrived. The canals we have created have inadvertently created more muskrat habitat, and their tolerance for pollution has been very beneficial to them. Muskrats can build their own lodges, but where beavers exist, they often share the lodges with the beavers. I have no evidence to support this claim, but I suspect that they help maintain the lodge, and since they are known to eat insects, perhaps they even keep it clean. A monogamous pair of muskrats will live together with their offspring. Muskrats are very prolific breeders, having 2 to 3 litters each year, containing about 6 to 8 offspring within each litter. However, like their close relatives the lemmings, their populations are prone to cycles of dramatic fluctuations. That wraps up this week at the Sanctuary, and if anybody has any comments or suggestions or questions or would like to share their photos, please email us at sfcsanctuary@gmail.com.